About the cabal, I think, yeah, some of them are not living today. May their souls find favor with Almighty God in paradise. Those that are living, of course, the way they ended was more or less like a fulfillment of my prophecy to them, because almost everything that happened, I preempted it, and I told them in 2018, 2019. So when it happened exactly the way I predicted, even the president himself, I told him what will happen to him. Because in 2019, in 2018, when there was pressure whether he was going to contest or not, I went to him. I saw something more or less like a vision of what will happen. So I went to him and I told him, said, Sir, Excellency, my candid opinion would have been that he would be a Mandela and retired back home uh, after these 4 years. But if you contest this election, you will win. But if you win the election, you are going to face one of the most terrible political wars in the history of Nigerian leadership. And that at the end of it all, you might end up somebody, as someone we can refer to as a hero of wars. That is a great man who died at the backyard of cowards. Because when you will be leaving office, if your name is mentioned, Nigerians will start crying. So I told him this in 2018. And I said, well, if you disagree with me and contest and win the election, the only way out is you must select a cabinet and eight of people who are die-hard believers of your philosophy. And then they will have to engage this political um, class that will give you a very serious war. And if they engage them, they may create some political space for you to perform. Otherwise, you will be held hostage in the villa, you will be reduced to a president of the villa, and when finally you will be leaving, Nigerians will regret ever voting you as a president. So he asked me why. Why was I saying these things? And I told him that there were about three reasons. One, he succeeded as a military general and has made fame and name there. And he was coming back to also make name and fame in politics. Those who saw politics as their inheritance are not going to allow him to succeed. I told him the second reason is he was not going to do third term. And if he doesn't do third term, he might likely end up winning Mo Ibrahim's prize for leadership in Africa. And this class of the political cult will not accept that. And I told him the last reason is self-inflicted, because he was going everywhere and saying he was going to jail corrupt people. And I told him that I've realized that the next person standing to him is one of the most corrupt persons. So if he is always talking about fighting corruption and have not defined the boundaries of corruption, then that next person to him is going to be threatened, and definitely he will work to undermine him, because he's not too sure he's likely going to be jailed by him. So, but I told him this. He contested, won. The rest is history. But the power cult, which is the cabal, came to terms with the reality. And one of them, on the day of his handing over, he admitted that he wasted 8 years as a minister. He admitted. So I think they are just living with the prophecy.
Okay. Let me interrogate what you just said now. You said that you told him this not to contest. If he contests, obviously what is happening now would happen. And don't you think that that is actually the reason why he didn't bring you back? Because you told him, obviously, most leaders don't want to hear. And he would have thought if you told him not to contest, then he would think to himself, well, if I contest, that means you're not going to support me. But if I contest and win, then I don't need you. Don't you think that's the reason?
No, this will have to take me to also enlighten Nigerians how we met with Buhari.
Okay.
Buhari went out looking for me in my village. I didn't know Buhari from Adam. It was Buhari who called me when I was in my village and demanded for a political partnership. And when I ultimately met him one on one, this was what he said. He said, Solomon Dalung, I knew you. You are somebody who has a very toxic tongue. You don't spare anybody when it has to do with telling him you are mine. I will want us to covenant today and become political allies. That don't spare me anytime I am wrong. Tell me the way it is. So that was our covenant with him till then. So the day I failed to tell Buhari the way it is, that is the betrayal of the covenant. One. Two, Buhari is not such a person that when it comes to telling him the truth, he listens. If whatever you are saying is the truth, he can listen. But he will disagree with you if what you are saying is not the truth. The only problem there is the capacity. He may even accept what you say, but the capacity to translate what you have told him into action is what is lacking from my experience with him. But as to him being offended by the truth, certainly that is not the Buhari I know.
Okay.